welcome everyone to Biografrica's African Spotlight series. Kato Taka with my co-host Anthony Edobo, and today we have the distinct pleasure of speaking with a remarkable visual artist who's using his talent to reshape African narratives. Please join us in welcoming Joseph Bemishola Dairo, also known as Jopee Dairo, to the show. So, Jopee, thank you so much for joining us
Yeah.
today or tonight. I mean, depending on the time.
Okay, so should I just jump in? So Jopi, we just wanted to find out because we've watched a lot of your posts. We followed you. We know what you do, but we're still curious. There's a lot of things that we don't know. So, what? First question: what are the early influences? Yeah, because you once mentioned that started your art journey alongside your brother, and being inspired by artists like Lawa, Maiwa, you
Yeah.
know. So, what are the early influences? Why are you an artist?
Okay. Yeah. So you introduced me already. Jopee Dairo. Yes, I'm born Bemisola Joseph Dairo, and forgive me for pronouncing it Bemisola. Yes, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I won't take that to court with you this time. So my early influences, as I mentioned, I do mention on my interviews, and Lawa Omayo has really inspired me, the Alankara perspective guy, because I make a lot of use of African textile motifs in my artworks. So, and then I've also been greatly inspired by Bisa Butler. Bisa Butler is a diasporan, she's a black, you understand, and then she does art to retell the stories of black stories from way back in 1915, because of to bridge the knowledge gap in the present generation, because of course the present generation doesn't read books, doesn't have history, doesn't know what you don't know what happened to our fathers, and we end up falling into the same trap. So she just bridges that, and that's kind of so because of those people that influence my art, it builds a foundation or a base for me to understand, to also give a direction to my art. You understand? So basically, yeah, of course, I am an artist because the society needs heart. You understand? The society needs heart, because without heart, we cannot be able to tell what is in our heart. I don't know if that sounds good.
Well,
You understand? To be able to to speak without uttering verbal words. You understand? You need heart. You understand? To paint perspectives, to shape narratives, to tell stories. You understand? Some of the when we look at the Egyptian, the dunes in Egypt, the pyramids in Egypt. You understand, the appearance of that pyramid is an artwork, is an edifice of art, and it tells a
Yeah.
story immediately. You understand, it spikes, it makes you begin to think Africa, makes you begin to think the cradle of civilization. And then when you look at the knock terracotta heads, you understand, in the Beni and the southeast and the south of Nigeria, it makes you begin to think what happened to the Hubba, who was the first Hubba, how was the Benin Empire planted, and I begin to look into
Yeah.
the origins. You understand, so um I'm an artist because art helps me to helps or meet the society to relate with everything that's in our heart. It helps us to look at the past, look at the present, and then be able to foresee the future.
quick one. Are you self-taught? Are you self-taught, or did you study this in a formal academic institution?
Okay, yeah, I'm a self-taught artist. I'm a self-taught artist, even though I've tried taking some courses, some digital courses on digital art, digital animation, digital storytelling in Istanbul. These are courses that I took afterthoughts. I just took some of those courses online in Istanbul, get to study. I research a lot in Istanbul. I'm basically self-taught. I never went to any school to learn art.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
That's really interesting. So let's talk about this name, Jopee Dairo. I think I was reading on Nimi Talk where you shared, the interesting story behind it. But I'm wondering if there's a deeper meaning to it, or if it's simply for its does it go beyond its simplicity, or what?
You mean the name Jopee Dairo?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. So Jopee Dairo is just, of course, my name is Joseph. You see that P is a secret. I like to leave it that way. Dairo is a dynasty name in Yoruba culture.
Okay. Okay.
The Dairo dynasty, even the name Dairo itself means that this one is set apart. This one is
Okay.
different. So it insinuates a person who's set apart with a difference. A person who is separated from the prevalent culture or the prevalent
Okay.
happenings that happen to other people. So it just says that this person is an eminent person. It's not a usual person. So Dairo means this person is set apart in Yoruba language. You understand? So and
Ah.
that's been like we've had a lot of people and us to have the likes of Ike Dairo, we have Kupo, Paul Play Dairo. We've had a lot of people, you know, some that bear that name instance. So I just chose to be identified with that name. Of course, it's my father's, my surname, right? You understand? And I chose to stick to it. So I just use Jopee Dairo. So that's it's not like really more than that. You understand? So that's just it.
All right, and I guess this is probably a coincidence, but you see how we said it's a distinct pleasure. So we never had an idea that we're speaking with someone that's actually distinguished.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So you've got your tracking balance monthly broadcast that you do on a monthly basis. It's a monthly basis. Yeah. Do that
So
now.
no, I work as I work on contracts. I work on contracts, so it's not like
Okay.
monthly. It depends. Like if there's an agreement, it could come in like 6 months. It could come in like a monthly. It could come in like it depends on the agreement and instead. So that's basically and it's basically working as a digital artist and a media communications executive for brands.
Okay. So what's the inspiration behind striking balance? Striking the balance
Yes, striking
monthly
the balance.
broadcast. What's the inspiration behind that?
Okay, so striking the balance for creatives. Yeah, there was a time then that I was just thinking about looking at passion and income. Passion and income. If you're a creative in Nigeria, Ghana, or anywhere in Africa, or even in some other countries, because I believe life happens everywhere, you begin to see how passion can separate itself from what's getting your bills paid instance. So some people get their bills paid with engineering, but their passion is in photography. You understand? So and then sometimes too, while as a creative, there are many seasons of your life where you find yourself giving your art to something, but you are making money through another means. You understand? And so they love the African creative needs to or has a lot to learn when it comes to the business side of creativity, the real life behind creativity. I'm a creative to you. You are having me on your interview, but I'm going to have a wife and I'm going to be a husband to her. I'm going to have children and I'm going to be a father to them. And I have parents and I'm a son to them. You understand? So I have relationships. So beyond just saying I'm a creative, there are other parts of my life where I have to strike a balance with. I don't know if you get that now. You understand? So striking the balance is is a podcast. You understand? I began to do you understand to help creatives. I bring sometimes I bring other creatives to join me on live sessions. Sometimes it's just me. You understand? Having time with those creatives coming on joining me live. You understand? Just to discuss about one topic at a time, talking about the challenges that they're going through and how they can over skill through it. You understand, skill through it, and then become their success story that other people want to hear from.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
That's
Awesome. Now, let's also just move to your act and get to know about your creative process. But before that, I'm wondering if you have some of your art around.
Okay, okay. Right now, I'm not in my studio.
Oh, art.
Okay,
Because I mean, someone. Okay, you wanted to say something?
you want me to show them to you first physically, right?
Yeah, just on the live, so we get to see it. Because I mean, someone nominated you, and according to them, your art focuses on satire and reshaping African narratives. So
Okay.
I was hoping that you'd show us some of such arts, and perhaps even discuss the specific narratives you aim to challenge, as well as the role that you see satirical acts playing in the whole process.
Okay, okay. Oh, so yeah. In as much as I would have loved to like physically show you some of them. Right now, I'm not in my studio. You understand?
Okay.
And then I
Right.
believe that you could also try check out my page on Instagram. Just scroll through. There can be like so lot of posts there. Some of them are lifestyle posts. I'm at the beach. I'm at a wedding because I'm a all-rounded person and I'm allowed to understand. And it's not just an art page, but you just go through some of them, you find so. But I think I can speak refreshingly to one recent one that um, we did during the Kenyan um,
Protest
protest. So there was one we did during the Kenyan protest. I think
and finance bill or something like that. 20.
yeah, we get the finance bill. You understand? That
Yeah.
says we cannot be slaves in our own country. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we cannot be slaves in our own country. You understand? So and then I have a child there. You understand? With his face painted. You understand? And then in the background, you understand? I have a placard. You understand? And on that placard is right. We cannot be slaves in our own country. You understand? So yeah. So I made it black and white because it's two faces to two different sets of people. Understand? In Africa, we have maybe in government they call it the bourgeoisies and the proletariats. Understand? But really, it's not the rich and the poor. It's the oppressed and then the person who's gaining from the oppression. You understand? Who is benefiting from the oppression. You understand? So that's black and white.
Yeah.
That's what we consider artwork being in black and white. You understand? So the child there
All
is
right.
the seed. It means that what is really being affected is a seed, is a future. You understand? Is a
Okay.
future. So what we are doing damage to is a future, is a seed. You understand? When you're killing a seed, you don't know that you don't know what you're doing. You don't know that it's a tree you're actually killing. You understand? It's a tree that you're actually killing. You understand? So I just put a child there. You understand? And then the child is painted. You understand? So the painting represents our culture. You understand? Our ability to always to do that. So it just represents our tribal, our creativity, and so black and white because when it comes to the oppression that happens between the government and the people, it's always two-sided. It's not always people versus government. There are some of the people that are even beneficiaries of whatever is oppression is going on. Understand? So
Yeah.
we cannot be
Yeah.
slaves in our own country. We need to have the right to speak, and we need to use that right. You understand? In as much as constitution says we have that right, we need to be able to use that right. Understand? And that's what that art addresses. So when I created that art, shared it with some of my friends in Kenya, they also did some reposts. They loved it. It was like for me a contribution to what people over there are going through at that point.
Yeah.
Because I can't go over there now, join them and carry a placard, walk through the streets, instant with them, instant
Yeah.
and say, "Oh, we're protesting." I'm also joining. I'm also a voice. Instant lending my voice to them. But like the best way I could do that was to create that art, and
Yeah.
creating that art
Yeah.
generated quite much attention, even in the region where I live in Lagos, Nigeria. Some of my followers, some of the people who check out my art, day to day out. So I'm like, wow, for them, for some of them, that was like the first time they are hearing that there's something going on in Kenya. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. You understand? So when
Yeah.
we do satirical art, it informs the society. It brings attention, you know, of people to something that's it's crucial. You understand? Something that people are dying, lives are being lost, you understand, and then nobody's talking about it, you understand, because perhaps it doesn't affect them directly. As we speak, Sudan is still on fire, you understand. There's still so much going on in Sudan, and then
Yeah.
on this side of Africa, some of us are just living like there's nothing going on, you understand, because either we are not informed, you understand, or we are not empowered to do anything, you understand. So this art is my empowerment, you understand, and me raising my hand to say I am with you guys. I'm an African. I'm not just I'm a Nigerian, but upon being a Nigerian, I'm also an African, and this is me lending my voice to say I'm with you guys, you understand, and then this oppression has to stop. And thank God the youth won at the end. So that's basically so there's still like so much art. There's time I did a artwork about depression. You understand, they one about depression. You understand, talking about the fact that depression being rampant among the young populace. You understand, and then there's still no cure for it as we speak. You understand, so there are a lot of societal issues like that. You understand, that have been going on, like, and then people don't. There's no even awareness about it. You understand, and then that's what
Yeah.
satire does. It brings awareness to it, and when attention moves to something, there's a problem here, there's a problem here, there's a problem here. Then everyone starts thinking about solution. But if there's a problem, one person says about is not speaking up, you understand? There's assumes like okay, everything is fine, and then things are really going bad. People are dying, the future is being truncated, even whilst we go ahead living our lives like our natural, usual lives. So that's what I
Yeah.
can say.
That's quite really.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
Well, I think yeah, you said quite a lot there. Quite interesting, really interesting things you said. How you can use art to create, a lot of different perspectives on lives. So I believe you believe in art potential to shape the paradigm of how Africans are perceived. So there's always
Yeah.
this mis, the misconceptions of how Africans live, how we live. The perception is always wrong. So how uh, do you have any examples of how your work has contributed to this goal? Instances where you've witnessed art driving social change at all?
Okay, okay. I didn't get that quite well.
Okay, so I was going to say, you believe in art potential, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
to shape the paradigm of how Africans are perceived.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you said this in one of your captions where you on iBrand TV. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So can you give examples of how your work or art in general has contributed to this goal? How does your art actually change perception of Africans? How people actually see Africa? How has the art done contributed to
Okay,
that?
okay, okay. Recently, I got an awarded for an entry at the United Nations. That's the office in Nigeria. You understand, for creating an art for the in October 1st last year for the independence instant. So that's all they needed artists instant to okay, how can you paint Nigeria of your dreams instant? And then I was able to come up with an artwork where I created a child with half a human face and half a robot face instant just to tell the story of how um, now coding technology we are one of the nations that is embracing technology and then using it even though we still have internet fraudsters but we have them everywhere and enough of people trying to paint it like Nigeria or Africa has got the fraudsters and then they like we come to loot and then you've got the bank and we come to loot the bank. That's a very very incomplete narrative, you understand. It's a very incomplete narrative because it's fraud, internet robbery. It's a human thing. You understand? There are desires for people to steal. You understand? Even bad governance, all these things. They exist in Europe. They exist in Spain. They exist everywhere. You understand? Those are human issues and not African issues. You understand? So
Yeah.
technology has been a blessing in Africa. It's been so much of empowerment to our youth, to our growing generation, you understand, and then I was able to paint it in that artwork, you understand, to see why for people to see why they need to keep investing in the younger generation, keep getting them empowered, especially with technology, you understand, so that they can meet up to their peers, you understand, on the outside world, you understand. So for me, that entry was because Nigeria is faced where not so many people are proud to say they are Nigerians. You understand? Even though you see Nigerian in diaspora, an artist comes out in diaspora, a popular person comes out and say, I just found out I'm Igbo. I just found out I'm Yoruba. I just found out I have a trace to to Kogi State in Nigeria. I have a trace to Africa. People want to relate with they want to people in diaspora, even white people, people who, and there are some other people that you don't even know where they come from. Yes, in that diaspora, and they want to relate. Say they don't say they are Nigerians. They are easy to say. I think I'm from Africa. I think I'm from Nigeria. Yeah, but with the status quo, with what's going on right now in the country, ever since like the last 3 4 years and maybe like 10 years, you understand, it's difficult for people over here, you understand, we live here to stand up and say, come, I'm Nigerian, and then I want to take part in patriotic activities. So it was mind shifting when it comes to patriotism because yeah, while I was awarded, I think yeah, while I was awarded when I was back, so I got a lot of text, got a lot of calls from people saying, wow. That was a good one. Thank you for doing that. You understand? Even a lot of my friends are white people. They live in white communities. And start being able to say that, wow, this guy is like really putting Nigeria out there, you understand, on the mark of the globe. I remember there's this award also last year for motion graphics in Accra. You understand, there's Accra Music and Arts Awards. Now it's African Music and Arts Awards, but it was Accra Music and Arts Awards. And then I won for the category for motion graphics and digital art, but the motion graphics part, you understand. And then that puts Nigeria, because I was the only Nigerian on that category. You understand? In fact, like, yeah, in that whole category, I was the only Nigerian guy. You understand? Because it was an award that was being organized by Ghanaians there in Ghana for arts and entertainment. You understand? I was here in Nigeria. Some of my hard works went over there, and I was able to win that award. You understand? So it puts Nigeria on that scale that, wow, don't try these guys when they get anywhere. When they get anywhere, like these guys are able to, like, stay in their country. And then so then 2 years ago, yeah, I think 2 years ago now, last year, if I remember correctly, I said I was like also the official graphic designer for Biografrica's summer UK pop-up at Oxford Street in London. So I was their official graphics designer. I worked on all the artworks they used at the pop-up, in the building, the decorations, everything, all the artworks and stuff, like basically handled everything, you understand, that they use in Oxford. So in many ways, with all that, being able to put it out to people that, being an African, being a Nigerian, it's no limitation. It's no limitation. You understand? So that's it.
Fantastic. That's really good. I'm proud of all you've done so far. So in the London, in the Oxford art work that you did, were you there physically or was it like online? Were you there physically to do the work or were
No,
you?
no, 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 no. I wasn't there physically. I worked on all the art digitally and mailed
Okay.
them over. You understand, for print at Oxford.
Talking about digital, you're working digitally. So if you could use just one quick light question, if you could use one medium for the rest of your career, would it be photography? Would it be digital art or something else? What's your preferred?
Can I get that question again? I didn't get that record.
So if you could use one medium, right? If
Yeah,
so, you're an artist.
yeah,
If they ask you to choose one medium
yeah,
through which you exhibit your artistry, right?
yeah.
Would it be photography or would it be digital patterns or would it be like drawing the physical what's that called? Drawing on
Something
canvas.
else entirely.
Because with the physical drawing you put up, because I have a lot of works I put on the frame, but I didn't draw them physically, yes, and because that is traditional art, instance. Now, if I have a opportunity to use a medium to paint my artistry instant out, instant, of course, I'm still sticking with digital. I make all my African and patterns, art motifs digitally. In fact, I also do include a blend of photography. So I'm more of like a multidisciplinary visual artist. I also make motion, like I can animate some of my artworks as a motion design for humanitarian campaigns. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I will still go digital any day. You understand? But of course, so most of my digital work still get printed. Like the ones I did for Biografrica's pop-up last year in London were printed out on billboards. They were used for the advert campaigns. You understand? So for me, it will still be digital anytime because digital is the future.
Yeah, okay.
Appears you really made a hell of bank.
I'm telling you, that's the main thing, bro.
So let's move to your dream collab. If you could like collaborate with any artist, whether living or deceased, on any particular project of yours, who would it be?
Mr. Butler.
Why?
Mr. Butler for me, she is living the dream because, like I said about her before, she's able to tell the history, tell the story way back from how it started. Because when we don't know where we started from, we don't know where we are going. How do we end up in the destination when we don't know how we began it? So Mr. Butler is of course she creates she prints our textiles herself. She creates art on textile, you understand, but it's not even about the textile for me. It's about the Black history. It's our ability to stand in the space of being an American, you understand, a Black person, you understand, in a white society, and still be able to influence that society with art that tells our history, art that correctly shapes our narratives that people have taken agog, taken wrongly, narratives that have been, Black people are like this, Africans are like this, Africans are like, no, so she just sometimes she gets old photographies and remodel them into artworks, then organize exhibitions. Recently, she even collaborated with BMW. I think that was between December, BMW for a campaign like that. So if I'm going to be collaborating with any artists, I'm telling you, it's going to be Bisabota.
Well, I've never heard of her.
Wow.
I'm not.
Same here. I've never heard of the person.
You see, that's it. The goal of art is not to be famous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The art is a phenomenon that as an artist you are like the easiest person to get distracted in this life.
Yeah.
So because you're supposed to address issues of the heart, you understand, and then the issues of the heart are so minute that they can get so easily overlooked because of other activities. So wanting to be a celeb, appear on red carpet, be famous and all that are like the biggest distractions from you creating art that is worthwhile.
Yeah.
So you guys in your space don't have celebrity artists?
There are many celebrity artists that we do have. You understand? I myself am fast becoming a celebrity when it comes to art.
Are you getting distracted?
Very much. I'm fighting. Oh my God. I'm fighting the distraction. I'm fighting it because when the distraction comes in, it's the poison of it is that you begin to lose inspiration.
Yeah,
You
of course.
you no more know what you stand for. Just imagine you want to jump in trends. And as an artist, you set trends, you don't jump on trends.
Yeah.
Okay.
You set trends, you create, you help people to think, not follow how they think.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to assume that they're not really thinking.
That's very true. Do you have like a studio? Do you have like where you exhibit your work that people can actually come? Because I see that a lot of artists do that. I'm not sure in Nigeria, but in the Western world, they have every year they do like an exhibition and look at the arts and
So
interpret them.
I have an open studio once a year, understand? Because right now, like basically, I don't run an open studio regularly. Understand? What I work with right here is a closed studio. But once in a year, like last year, we had an exhibition, the Evolution, an art exhibition last year. It was an open studio. Everybody came to see some of the artworks, to hear from me directly, physically, learn about the narratives. People came from far and near, people traveled, came over down to Nigeria to see what we were doing. you understand, and then to meet me in person, to hear from me, and then it was large. I also had some other African creatives, you understand, come on and then exhibit, just have their pop-ups, just along by, you understand, some of these things we have to carry on the next generation, you understand. So I had that, you understand. So I don't have open and studio where you can always visit, you understand. But regularly, I try my best every year to host an exhibition where I can show you, okay, this is where we've gotten to, because it's a journey.
Okay.
Okay. So how was that experience? If you could coin one word for it, the 2023 art
Uh,
exhibition.
Evolution.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Evolution is the word, because that was the season where I was moving into another phase of my artistry. You understand? So
Okay,
I evolved. It
all
was
right.
it was evolving. It was so evolving for me.
Mm.
It was time for me to begin to relate with my art and the society that I'm talking to in a different level entirely. You understand? In different way. Being seen differently. So it was an evolution.
Okay.
I was going to ask about your. I know we like you did mention that, which is the fact. People do other things to pay the bills, and then they have what
Yeah.
their things, what they have a thing for.
Yeah.
So, do you have? We know that art is what you use for art. Is it? It looks like that's where your passion is, right? We can tell that this is where your passion is. But is there any other thing that you have a hidden talent, something else that you do that we don't know that might surprise us?
I love this question, and it's been like the last 3-4 interviews. Nobody has ever thought so deeply to ask me this, and I appreciate you for asking me this question, because for me, it's important to understand that I'm a full human being, and then the part of me that people get to see is not always all there is. You understand? So before coming into visual art, I did performing arts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did performing arts after school. I did performing.
Okay.
Even while I was in school, I was doing performing arts. I would play the guitar, lead guitar, bass guitar, keyboards. I write songs for people. I produce music.
Hmm. Wow.
I produce music. So I did all that instant before I was done with school, and after school I did like 2-3 years. I was still into that instant. Like I I was that kind of guy, that goes out instant, that carries my guitar along, do purely
Jopee on the beat.
use that
I said Jopee on the beat.
like something like that. So I remember I did Caribbean music. I did
Wow.
radio rock steady, kind of music. So I right now, for me, those are like areas of passion for me. You understand that I know music, singing, you understand, writing songs and all that. Even art also is a passion for me. You understand, and then art is so wide, because those are areas of art also. But that's
Mhm.
performing arts, you understand. And then visual arts, I'm doing visual arts now, being known as a visual artist. Art brings food to my table by God's grace, you understand. And then but that performing arts of me, that performing arts side of me, it's not being projected. I don't feel like every area of my life should be projected. You understand? I don't feel every
Okay.
area of my life should be less. Every At the end, it all makes no sense. You understand? Because for you to actually make a sense of life, you just need to push. You need to. It's just like in art, we have something called highlights and shadows in photo manipulation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so some areas are highlighted. So even as you are seated now looking at me, you can see some areas of my face are very much highlighted, but some others are dark. You
Yeah.
understand? And that's the balance of life.
Yeah. Another perspective to it is that you can have sometimes the areas that you feel like they're suppressed, those areas can naturally communicate into they come to life later on in life. You might think that,
This-
oh, maybe your visual art, the songwriting at some point. An example is Adekunle Gold, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He was a
Oh,
digital,
yeah, a photo manipulator.
he
Yeah,
was doing
Photoshop.
photoshops and doing all of this
yeah,
creativity, but he knew he could sing.
yeah,
Yeah, but he was just doing that work, and then one day what he was doing led to one thing led to another, and now he's one of the biggest stars out of
Yeah,
Africa.
yeah,
So never say never.
yeah. And the dimension, I actually did mass communications in school,
Okay.
media and
Okay.
communication. And
Okay.
then after school, when I went to do my IT for like a year, I just benched every other person that used to be on air. I was just, I just picked up to be like one of the number one voices on, it was although it was an online radio station in Istanbul. I can tell you that I have great talent for talking on air, instant being an OAP, instant, and I loved it. Instant, I loved it. I did it for quite a while then, instant, and then of course, as life would have it, I had to just put it aside. So I see that area of my life coming to limelight, maybe pop, like you said, like maybe later in life, you understand? Yeah, maybe
Mhm.
being able to host not just podcasting now, it could be podcasting, but like being a voice on radio, you understand?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
actually
All right.
combine. There's always a way. There's always an
Yeah, to
intersection
fuse it
between,
all.
yeah. If
yeah,
what you're doing as an artist, you can bring the maximum skills and all of these things, and you merge it together. And I mean, if you have a podcast that talks about art, come on, you'll be an authority. You know,
yeah,
this is what you do. You really
yeah.
artist form. You talk about art and invite other people, and it'll be awesome.
Exactly. It all works together like that.
Well, that's good to know.
All right. All right. Now let's talk about soundtracks to this art of yours. So if you were to have if your art if it were to have a soundtrack, what specific songs would best capture its essence?
Okay. It depends on the heart. It depends on the
Okay.
particular part instance. So both. I do. Um, of course, you see me as one who does a lot of conscious music. Who likes to listen to music the kind of music that makes you think, kind of music that directly talks to you. Every music talks to you. Understand? But some other music are just a distraction. The embellishments are more than the meaning itself. You understand? So, but
Yeah.
Angelique Kidjo, you understand? Put Angelique Kidjo, Yemi Alade, you understand? Those are like people
Mm.
who have Afrocentric vibes.
Those Afro exactly. I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
you can really talk of like a fella, Nicola Kokuti, I definitely too, you understand? Like some of the songs are really like okay, I could put them on hard work and it will really sell. It will really, when I mean sell, it will really affect people's lives, for instance. So,
Mhm.
and lastly, of course, Salif Keita.
Okay, I like
Yeah,
Salif Keita.
yeah.
That's
Is it what?
I said I like Salif Keita. What about
Yeah.
Asha?
Okay, Asha. Okay, so Ashin, I okay, for me, like Asha is not. It's not like I will still have like perhaps like a Lagbaja than having Asha.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Okay. Okay.
That's
Lagbaja
good.
is Asha raw, like Asha raw, the raw kind of stuff to get from Asha because Asha is for me Asha is more like is like maybe or like over contemporary, like just like too contemporary. You
Mm,
understand the way that and then kind of abstract too. You understand? So, but personally, I don't listen to Asha.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So if you were in the desert, if you were in the desert island and you've been asked to take only one of your apps, which of them would you take, and why? And why?
what? I love how my heart works.
You don't jump back.
Love how my heart works. What's this? No. Ah, what artwork am I going to check? Or what am I going to check? Mm, there's this there's this artwork I exhibited last year, uh, and then talks about Lagos, talks about the spirit of Lagos.
Hmm.
Keep moving. Understand? That's what I call that artwork. Keep moving. Understand? But actually, that artwork talks about the spirit of Lagos, the consistent also spirit, the fact that Lagosians never stop. Understand? I think for me, You survive anywhere if you have that mentality. You understand?
Mm.
So yes, yeah, for me, taking my heart with me is like taking a mind with me,
Yeah.
like taking a creed, taking a verse of a scripture. You understand? So I think that artwork for me is like can take every other one from me, but that one, uh, I
Okay.
want
Okay.
All right. So right from the outset up to the issue of soundtrack, even the question of soundtrack, even you. What if there's one thing to pick out of it? It's that you really draw inspiration from Africa, right?
very
Yeah. So now I'm curious about the aspects of our continent that that fuel your creativity.
Woo! Family life,
You said
family life.
family life.
Yes, family life.
Life.
Okay.
Family life. Oh, and
So have you
ironically,
been?
that doesn't even like that's like not even in most of my artworks. You understand?
Exactly, because that's what I wanted to ask.
And as it is now, I don't even I like I have not, like I'm from a family of course, but I have not met the family yet. You understand? But yeah, I tend to see that there is no socialization is an offshoot of family. You understand?
Yeah.
What we believe is because of what our fathers told us. You understand?
Yeah.
Because of what our fathers told us, and the things that we are seeing are the things that our fathers did. You understand? And then, so I believe that, of course, the charity begins at home. You understand? Yeah. So I believe that Africa is what it is. You understand? Because of mothers and fathers and child, mother and child, the fellowship that goes on between the three of them. You understand how they stand up? What? Look at the Western nations. They are what they are because of their family life. The marriages are broken. The homes
Mhm.
are down. The child grows up with no father. The mother is this, the father is that, and the child is alone. And then how can he think rightly? How can that kind of child affect his generation positively when he himself is struggling to survive? You understand, mentally, and all that is lacking the right socialization. You understand, so children can't even afford
Mm.
to grow up well. You understand, because society has left them with definitions of even their own sex. You understand? So
Yeah.
you, it's for me the best thing that happens to Africa is our family life, is our upbringing. You understand?
But,
So you now
Okay.
know family life.
yeah. But I can argue that this is gradually being eroded. The West, because of the internet and what this young generation see, those values are gradually being swept away into the sea. So I can see a lot of young people. I just said I was in Lagos recently. You talk to young people, the way they think now, their thought processes, the values that we used to hold when we were teenagers. These guys don't even. It's not even. It's not even come. It doesn't come close to how they think. You
Mm.
know. I think we still we have a lot of work to do to be able to.
Quite a lot of work, and that's why now you see why I love this. I tell you I love this about love. You understand? Because sometimes you need to be able to tell the present generation what happened to their fathers, so that they can learn from it. You understand? But when there's that generational gap where people are not learning history, they don't know about their roots, they don't know about their background. I'm able to tell you about my surname because my father told me about it. My mother
Yeah.
spoke to me about it. This is how your fathers were. This is why they bear this name. This is their name. You understand? So I'm not ashamed to carry that name wherever I go. You understand? So, and being able to be proud of it. You understand? So when you don't, and of course, so the lack of preservation, you understand, of family life is what I believe is one of the biggest problems of the Western world. You understand? And any other world that's going to crumble. You understand? Because the world's really being to crumble from the narratives, from the mindsets, from the paradigms. You understand? And then, but we think, I think for Africa, you understand? Like I said, that's the best thing that happened to us. How we are being raised, our family life runs, the respect, the culture, the the learning, the discipline, the spiritual understanding. They tell you, okay, you need to worship a God. Get
Yeah.
this. supreme being over you. You're not like I choose what I am to be. What I can be anything. I can be crazy. I can kill people. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You're not superior. There's a supreme being over you. And
Yeah.
to show you a figure of that supreme being, you have a father that will discipline you if you make mistakes. And you have
Yeah.
a mother that will also give you advice if you need some. You understand? So the family life is like the greatest thing that happened to Africa.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your this until the lion learns to write. Yeah, seems to resonate with you a lot.
You
True
know,
or false? China Chibi.
Yeah,
yeah,
until the lions learn how to write, every story will glorify the hunter.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
do you see your art contributing to lions learning to write and challenging dominant narratives of Africa?
okay. Recently, this guy I am Fords is I am Fords on Instagram. I am FODS, but I can't remember his full names now. He designed a new jersey for Arsenal. I don't know if you're aware about it. He designed a kind of Pan African Afrocentric jersey for Africa for Arsenal for the
Yeah.
Arsenal football club in Europe, and he claimed
Yeah.
that there are more African players in Arsenal right now, and then it's just he proposed it, and and Arsenal accepted it. He designed it. It came out like beautiful. I checked it out and all that stuff, and I said, "Oh, wow, um, we are who we say we are. You understand? We are what we write about ourselves." There's so much beautiful things going about. If you go to my Instagram page right now, you see the last reel I updated. That was somewhere in Africa. You understand? That was somewhere in Africa. And then the likes of the Ni Fagbemi, some other guys trying to X-ray our festivals, you understand, trying to put attention on the good sides of Africa that people need to see, you understand, because CNN is I don't know want to start mentioning names on all those stuff. They will always keep coming when there's war in Kenya, when there's a state of emergency somewhere, they kind of focus on that and then just to show the world that we just want poor people struggling to survive, struggling to get by. We need we need them to bring us over to the US so that we can survive, so that we will not die of starvation, so that I don't know how they just go ahead to like understand like because I say the fact that there is no world, there's no society without a dark, without the darkness, and like I showed you, and as a balanced image, and as a highlights and as a shadows. So you get people propelling our shadows to the outside world to understand, yes, yeah, trying to see that oh we need help, bury us money, bury us life, bury us this, bury us that, you understand? But when the lions learn to write, you understand, everyone will see that the hunter is not really the hero. It's not always the hero. You understand? So
Mm.
until lions learn to write, that was by Chino Achebe. I think it was Things Fall Apart. He wrote that line that until lions learn to write, every story will glorify the
It
hunters. So
glorify the
this
hunter.
was
Yeah.
water wilderness, how Europe underdeveloped Africa, the repatriations, and how they began to bring back our artworks, bring back our pride, bring back our sense of belief, you understand, which we ourselves, some of us gullibly lost, you understand, to the outside world, you understand. So and it's just a call for us to begin to reshape the narratives, you understand. It's in our own hands to do that for ourselves, you understand. That when we get the platform, we can take that platform to become beggarly and then to begin to lust after anything that is being put in the plate, you understand. But to be able to say this is who we are, this is what we represent, and to be proud of it, to stick to it, you understand, as that okay, this is what I have. I don't have a life, I don't have a yellow skin, I don't have a green skin, I'm not colored. This is the skin I have and I'm grateful for it, and it's everything to me, and I can achieve anything. The boundaries are limitless. So the lions got to start learning to write, you understand, so that we have a balanced perspective. The paradigm has to shift. We have to reshape our own narratives by ourselves. No one will tell our stories like the way it is. You understand? They will tell from their own point of view. But it happens to us. We gotta tell our stories by our own selves. So that's the point there.
All
Fantastic.
right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful to know. And yeah, I really love that the lions have started learning how to write now
Yeah, yeah.
because I mean we are among the lions, right, Anthony?
Sure. Yeah, lions. I see three lions here.
We are the ones now.
Writing new perspectives, you
We
know.
are creating new narratives. We are
Yeah, about
championing,
Africa,
yeah, we are
its
championing
people, the culture.
the right narratives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. We've got a lot, to contribute to that space as Biographica. Hopefully in next future we'll reach out for future collaborations. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, you talked about having your exhibitions yearly. When is the one for this year?
Okay, so this year I still have it pretty much like in the fourth stage. You understand? There's no news or putting out. I prefer not to put out any news concerning it right now. Understand? But I'll tell you, it's in
Okay.
the fifth stage. You understand? We're working on it. You understand? And once there's any information available for the press, I'll contact you first.
All right. All right.
we'll be happy to we'll be happy to give it some publicity as much as we can.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So what are your long-term aspirations for your art? How do you envision its impact on Africa and the world?
Yeah, on a global scale, I want the world to see Africa, not the way it has always seen it. You
Yeah.
understand? For what it is, what it really is. You understand? So if I need to collaborate with FIFA, see myself collaborating with Coca-Cola, collaborating with the world's biggest brands, not because they have money or because they have something to offer, but because there's something that their audience needs to see, and that thing is Africa. You understand? So I see myself, working with Guinness, working, brands, the top brands out there that touch down on all continents. You understand? I see myself working with I think FIFA. I really love to work with FIFA. Yes, I really love to work with FIFA because there's a lot of many Africans feel like, okay, they don't favor us, they don't put us out there, they don't they look down on us, when it comes to the competitions, and then they play foul and, and all that. Instant,
Yeah.
like, for me, I'm not a fan of being beat out. I feel like, we can collaborate with anybody, you can work with anybody, and then we can be heard eventually. Understand? So I like to work with FIFA. I like to work with Guinness. I like to work with the top brands out there. Understand? Just to for the purpose of to keep writing and keep writing the stories of my own motherland.
Yeah. I think one of the major, but like, people are the successful people. One of the things that they say in common is that they follow their passion. Apart from, so first of all, you start the business, you do what you like. The money will always come. So from how I see you, you're not all about. Obviously, you need something for your livelihood, but you're passionate about showcasing Africa through your art. I believe that if you actually steadfastly follow that direction, you will succeed. With all of these big brands, what you just mentioned now is going to be, within a very short time, you will get there, and obviously it will translate to financial gains.
Sure,
You
sure.
also be sector as well. So,
Yeah, sure,
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So thanks so much for
So,
joining us.
Jofi,
Really appreciate it.
thank you. Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
very,
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sharing the inspiring story with us.
yeah.
I really appreciate it. Sometimes maybe I hope maybe next time I'll be the one interviewing you guys, so you guys also tell me your stories.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah, of course, of course, of
We'll
course.
be happy to
But
see that
because
story.
I believe there's something running you guys too. There's a passion behind it. Money is too small to define things, you understand, and it's lost value. It's lost. You get to see money for what it is, you understand, and then begin to see ourselves as, because
Mm.
of money we hurt each other. Because of money we do all the stuff, and that it gets to the news and it's not good news about us, you understand. So I believe you guys are also a set of people that are seeing beyond, the
yeah,
the papers that come into your account at the end of the year. And so that's why I said, like, okay, maybe next time I'll try to meet you in person, interview you, also know why you're doing this, why you putting you on the spot, why why it's Biographica, because Biographica keeps putting out great stuff about Africa. I keep following Biographica every time, keep liking the post, keep sharing, because you guys are doing an awesome job, and I must commend you for that.
thank
So
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much. For for now, we are really excited, to see how your work continues to evolve. I mean, that's your entire that's your keyword for your art, right? So for that exhibition last year. So
Yeah.
we just want to see how it also continues to make impact on in the world, not just in Africa, but globally, right? So thank you very much.
All right.
So to our audience, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Biographica's African Spotlight series. So be sure to follow Jopee Dairo. I don't want to call the surname because I may get it wrong. So just follow him on social media. Follow Jopee on social media to stay updated on his latest projects. Until next time, keep celebrating African excellence.
Thank you. Bye.